Cian, you can start.
I can start. Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome everybody to our webinar on making the most of Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales and marketing. So I'm Cian McNamara. I'm Regional Director with Codec, hosting you today with my colleague Catriona Hutcheon, who is one of our Dynamics 365 pre-sales consultants. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to start by telling you a little bit about us, for those of you who don't know us. I'm going to do some overview stuff on Dynamics 365 and the sales application. And then I'm going to hand you over to Catriona, who's going to take you through a demonstration touching on some of the latest and most powerful features in the product. And then we'll talk to next steps. So a little bit about Codec. Our business was established in Dublin in 1985. Our Irish offices are in Galway, Belfast, and Cork. We are 210 people and growing steadily, and we are an award-winning business. So we're 34 years successfully delivering to our customers, and during that period we've worked with a diverse range of organizations. So logos for some of our major clients are here on this slide, and you can see from this that we have worked in virtually every sector. So we've experience of implementing Dynamics in pretty much every sector of business. When it comes to Dynamics, Codec has a great story. We have the largest Dynamics practice in Ireland, probably one of the largest between Ireland and the UK. It's 100+ professionals. We've been Microsoft's chosen Dynamics Partner of the Year for 5 of the last 6 years. We are the current Microsoft All-Up Country Partner of the Year. We won that in 18 and in 17. We're a gold certified partner, of course, for CRM, but also gold certified for the other major Microsoft platforms for business. When it comes to CRM, we do everything, the full project lifecycle. We've expertise to design solutions, to implement solutions, to support them post-implementation, and we have a dedicated team for Dynamics support. We have experience of at least 50 Dynamics implementations for CRM alone, and those implementations would be both cloud and on-premise. So I want to tell you a little bit more about Dynamics now. So Microsoft Dynamics 365, it's Microsoft's product. In fact, it's a suite of business applications that Microsoft host on their Microsoft Cloud. These applications all work in a complementary way, similar look and feel, and they all integrate seamlessly with Office 365, Power BI, and other Microsoft products. And we're going to focus on one of these business applications today, and that's Dynamics 365 for Sales. So Dynamics 365 for Sales, it gives you everything you would expect from a CRM product and much more. I just want to call out some of the most powerful features that we have now in Dynamics 365 for Sales today, some of which we'll be able to show you during the course of the demo. Dynamics includes some very powerful analytic tools, analytics that give you great insights into your data and your business. So tools that analyze your leads to identify those that are most promising, analyze your email to see which customers and prospects are most engaged, analyze the health of your relationships with particular customers. And all of this data helps you to prioritize your sales activity and bring a more personal engagement to your customer. From a customer management point of view, Dynamics 365 for Sales gives you your customer 360 view. Of course, it shows you all of your interactions with your customers. There's also powerful sales process management capabilities, which we'll show you during our demo. And these sales process management capabilities help you to manage and close more deals with your customers. From a sales performance management point of view, you can set goals, you can track, set goals at member and team level, you can track performance against those goals, you can report on your goals and your pipeline in reports, dashboards, and also in advanced visualizations using tools like Power BI. I also want to mention that LinkedIn is now owned by Microsoft. So there's some very powerful integration available between Sales Navigator and Dynamics 365 for Sales. We won't have time to cover it today, but in simple terms, it makes it very easy to share data between those two applications and to coordinate your sales and prospecting activities across those two products. We've done a webinar on this integration previously. The recording is available, so let us know if you'd like to get it. So that's me done in terms of intro stuff. I'm now going to hand you over to Catriona, who's going to take you through a demonstration of Dynamics 365 for Sales. Just hand it over to you now, Catriona.
Okay, thank you. If you just give me a second here. Okay. So before we get into the demo, hopefully everyone will be able to hear me okay. I would like to set the scene first. So the demo interface that I will be using today is the Sales Hub. So what we're showing you is the unified interface, which is, of course, the latest and the greatest in terms of Dynamics 365. So it'll be the Sales Hub that we'll be using. The demo company that we're going to be using here is a Microsoft implementation partner. So any leads or opportunities or campaigns will be very much centered around the Microsoft suites, for example, SharePoint and Dynamics 365. The demo that I'm going to show you is using out-of-the-box features for sales and marketing. So I'll be touching on leads and opportunities, looking at the customers, which entail the accounts and contacts. From there, I'll be moving on to marketing. So I'll be showing you the marketing list functionality, campaigns, and the quick campaigns. So in terms of a demo story, we'll have a lead called Malachi Murphy, who is associated with the company called Murphy PLC. So what we'll do is we'll look at that lead and we'll go through the form, and then we'll actually qualify that lead. So when that lead is qualified, what will actually happen within Dynamics is it'll automatically create an opportunity account and contact from the information that's on the lead form. So we'll be going through each of those entities. From there, we'll look at the marketing functionalities. So we'll create a marketing list, which will be promoting a webinar for Microsoft Dynamics 365. We'll be looking at the campaign functionality, how to create a campaign and associate the marketing list that we've just created, as well as campaign tracking. And the last thing I'll touch upon before I hand back over to Cian is the quick campaign functionality. So from here, let's get started and dive into Microsoft Dynamics. So here we're in the Sales Hub, as I've just explained, setting the context. The entity that we're in here is called the lead entity, and the entities now are located on the left-hand side of the screen. For any Microsoft Dynamics users that are using older versions, your way of navigating into your different entities was, of course, along the top. So here on the left-hand side, they brought this back in, which reflects an earlier version of Dynamics, which was Dynamics 4.0, where the entities were all located on the left-hand side. So here in the lead entity, you should consider the leads should be considered as the entry point into the CRM system. Leads are not customers, but rather potential customers. Using your leads can provide you with rich insight into your organization on several levels, such as what new customers might be interested in your product, how your salespeople are cultivating their customer base, and what kind of criteria is being used to convert leads to customers. Within the lead entity, there are different views. So here, where I've placed my mouse, I can select a view. The lead that I'm currently in is open leads, but if I was to change that to closed leads, the records that are returned would change completely, because I'm trying to select closed leads view. So in this example, we have Anna Jones, who is qualified as a Microsoft Dynamics 365 lead. Along the top here is known as the command bar, and there's different functionality along the top, such as show chart, run report, Excel templates, export to Excel, and Word templates. So rather than show you everything within the one entity, as we go through the demo, I'll be able to show you the different functionality. So now into leads, I'm going to pick a lead here and actually open up and dive into the record of this particular lead, which is Malachi Murphy, Dynamics 365 for 50 users. So I'm just going to open this record here and go into the detail. So this brings me into the detail of the lead record here. So along the top here, we have what's known as the header. So in the header here for the lead, I have the lead source. So your source of your lead can be from a variety of places, such as a trade show, a partner, and even employee referral. So you can select where this lead has come from. So in our example, it is a trade show. Beside the lead, we have a rating. So we've got hot, warm, or cold. And this is a self-assessment of the lead itself. When this is used properly, it can drive workflow events such as callback by a sales manager within 1 day if the lead is hot, or within 5 days if the lead is cold. Below the header of the lead, we have what is known as a BPF. This is a business process flow, and this is specific to a lead. The business process we have here is lead to opportunity sales process. So the steps within the business process include qualify, develop, propose, and close. So here, the red circle denotes where I am within that sales process. If I were to click on this red circle here, what will happen is it'll pop out a number of fields, and this is to help guide the user through the process. So it can ask things such as, is it existing contact or count, what the purchase process is, so it could be an individual, committee, or unknown, and you can identify the decision maker. From there, what you can do is click next stage, and what it can do then is it'll bring you into the next stage within the business process. Within the form, there are, yes, sorry, go ahead, Cian.
And I was just going to cut in there and just, I mean, obviously that process then can be configured to any particular customer's preferences.
That's not correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And they could make certain fields mandatory at certain stages if that's how they wanted to run their business.
Absolutely, yeah. It's good that you pointed that out. So this is out of the box. This is what you get within the leads, but as Cian has correctly pointed out, you can customize this just like everything that you see within the lead form as well. All the fields, these can all be customized as per your requirements, and you can enforce business rules within the BPF as well to say you must complete this field before you move to the next step, which could be develop. Okay, so from here, this brings us into the lead form. So here is the summary tab. You also have details, which give you further details regarding the lead, such as a description, industry, annual revenue, and so forth, as well as related. So this is what is related to this particular lead. You've also got a timeline that's located in the center of the screen, and the purpose of the timeline is to add info and activities. So what you can do is you can add an email in there or a phone call or any type of activity such as a task, note, and you can also add in an attachment. So this timeline is really an electronic diary of everything that has happened against this lead, and you will find this reoccurs in each of the entities that we go through. I'll touch on Relationship Assistant whenever we go into the opportunity entity. So from here, what you can do is you can either disqualify your lead. So what you would do is you would disqualify, it would close it, it would be saved in the lead entity, but it wouldn't go any further than that. Or you can take the step of qualifying it. So if you were to qualify this lead, what would happen is the first name and last name, which is Malachi Murphy, would automatically become a contact in your system. Your topic here, which is Dynamic 365 for users, would automatically become an opportunity record. And lastly, the company Murphy PLC will become an account within the system. So all those three things automatically happen when you qualify the opportunity, which I'm doing now. So now you can see I've nicely gone into the opportunity. It's opened up the opportunity record. So I'll go back into the opportunity entity here, and using the quick search here, you can search for the name Murphy PLC, or you can actually see it here within the list here. So that's two ways that you can go and actually locate it. So your opportunity is considered as a potential sale, and you should associate it with existing customer records. Your opportunities provide insights into your upcoming sales. Like previously shown in the lead entity, there are different views within the entity. For example, my opportunities are the opportunities which belong to me. Closed opportunities are all the closed opportunities that are in the system, or you can have a look at all the opportunities regardless of who they are owned by or their status. So back in here to all the opportunities here. Now let's go into the detail of this opportunity that we have just created and qualified from a lead, and have a look at the form. So by now the form layout or interface should be more familiar to yourself based on the lead entity that we've just been through. What you can do here is you can populate the estimate and close date and the estimating revenue. So we can fill out a little bit more information about this opportunity. We have also got the business process flow here. So like we had within the lead entity, we also have a business process flow, and everything that Cian stated about that business process flow applies here in terms of how you can customize that flow. We also have the summary tab, the product line tabs, the quotes, and the related. So within the summary tab, it'll give you a little bit more information regarding this opportunity. So what the topic is, the purchase time frame. So maybe it is this quarter, right down to the budget amount. And notice some of the information from the lead has been pulled in and populated into the opportunity form. We also have the timeline, which we pointed out in the lead entity, and also the relationship assistant. So let's talk about this a little bit more in detail. This relationship assistant is part of the new embedded intelligence suite of features. The assistant keeps an eye on daily actions and communications, and it generates a collection of action cards that are displayed predominantly throughout the application to provide tailored, actionable insights. The assistant reminds users of upcoming activities, it evaluates your communications, and it suggests when it might be time to reach out to a contact that has been inactive for a while. It identifies email messages that may be waiting for a reply from you. It alerts you when an opportunity is nearing its close date. So this is exactly what we're seeing here on the opportunity relationship assistant. It's prompting us that the opportunity will close on the 28th of January 2019. The product line items is where you can add products and associate them with your opportunity. So if you did have products that your company sells, you can actually set these up in a catalog and add them in, or you can use write-in items. It's important to note as well that from the opportunity, you can also automatically create a quote. Opportunities tie closely to quotes, orders, and invoices because they use the base information found on the originating opportunity, and they are commonly created from leads. So your quote in Dynamics 365 terms is a proposed offer for your products or services for an existing customer. The quote can include specific payment terms, a discount, and delivery terms. Your order is an accepted quote and your invoice is a billed order. So before we close this opportunity, what I would like to do is to go back in and show you some of the functionality along the command bar at the top. So within each of the entities, we have out-of-the-box charts. To display the charts, it's simply a matter of clicking Show Chart on the command bar. Here on the left-hand side is a list of out-of-the-box opportunity charts that you can see here in front of you. I'm just going to pick one of them to display as an example, which is the sales pipeline chart. So what this will do is it's presented a funnel chart. If I needed to have a little further look at that and expand it, I can simply click the button here on the right hand side. The information that's making up the funnel chart is located here on the right. These are the records that make up this piece of the chart. What you can also do is you can expand further on the chart or drill down, and it's simply a matter of clicking and selecting the field that you wish to drill down on. So say, for example, you wanted to have a little further explore or drill down by budget amount, you would select the field and choose how you would like to see that. So I would like to see that piece of the funnel in a pie chart. And here it brings me back the information which makes up that piece of qualify within the funnel. And simply to go back again to the original chart, you click the home page. Okay, so that's our chart functionality. Other functionality to be aware of is running reports. So again, within each of the entities, you get automatic reports that are out of the box. So if I choose the sales pipeline chart and run the report for all the records on the page, what it'll do is it'll open up the dialog here, and I can group that by date to view the report. So what this will do is it'll bring the report back. I can also drill down on that report. So if I wanted to drill down here on the 50,000 for September, it's just simply a matter of clicking on that and it'll bring back the records here on the filter summary. What I can also do as well is if I find that this was a useful report, I can also export this into a number of formats, including Word, Excel, PDF, CSV, and so forth for the list that you see in front of you. So in this example, with one click, I can export this into a PowerPoint presentation. And what it'll do is it'll open up the PowerPoint presentation and I'll be in PowerPoint, and perhaps this will be useful for a meeting that I'm due to present in the next day or so. Okay, so I'll hide the charts then. So the last thing that I'd like to show you here is the export to Excel functionality. So with one simple click, you can export the information here from the view into Excel Online, static worksheet, dynamic worksheet, and even a dynamic pivot table. So using the example, I'm going to open Excel Online, and what it will do is in a couple of seconds, it'll populate all the information that's in the all opportunities view and place this into Excel Online. So the last step in the opportunities is closing this opportunity as one. Now, if you lost it, you can also update it as close as lost, and this will update the status reason. So this is the last step here to close it as one, and you can just click the OK button. So from here, naturally we will go into accounts and have a look at the account information. So in general terms, users should consider accounts as businesses or organizations. The account entity can be used not only for businesses you sell to, but also for vendors you purchase from. You may have more than one contact associated with your account, and the functionality that you're seeing here along the top on the command bar should be now familiar to you after visiting leads and opportunities. So we'll use the quick search here to have a look for our particular accounts that we have created. You can use wildcard functionality here. So this will return Murphy PLC. To open this account, it's simply a matter of clicking on the Murphy PLC and opening up the form to have a little look in more detail. When you are creating an account record, there are two mandatory fields, which are the account name and the owner field. These are denoted by the red star that they're mandatory. A few recommended fields to consider when you're building accounts, such as your parent account here, and this is used when the account rolls to another account. Your primary contact field, which is located here on the right hand side, and that ties the account to the contact record, and the number of employees, which is used for metrics related to the potential size of the account. So like the other entities, you have your header field along the top and your tabs along the bottom, which is where you can have your fields and fill out that information that you have specific to your account, and also anything that's related to the account, such as your activities, contacts, leads and opportunities, and even cases if that's applicable for your organization. What you can also do as well with the Word integration, you can have Word templates here. So the account summary is a Word template that you get that's out of the box. And if you click on this, what it does is it exports the information regarding this account, Murphy PLC, and populates it into the Word template here. So here you can see we've got their phone number and the information around who the primary contact is, and it even includes the recent opportunity information. So from here, we'll move very quickly then to the contact entity. So there's two ways that you can navigate to your contact entity. You can simply navigate here on the left-hand side and go into the contact entity, or because this is a relational database, we can actually click on the primary contact that's associated with the account. So whichever way, it'll bring you into the contact entity. Contacts are usually individuals that are either customers or in some way related to an account. By default, contacts have two required fields, that being your last name and owner. The first name you'll notice has a blue cross. This field is a business recommended field, but it's good to populate as much information regarding your contacts. You also have a details tab as well, which gives you further information regarding that contact, which includes contact preferences, any event information that they've been involved with, and even marketing information as well as personal. So this brings me to the end of the sales part of the demo. The next part of the demo will heavily focus on the marketing functionality, the out-of-the-box marketing functionality that's within Dynamics 365. So again, along the left-hand side is the way that you can navigate to your marketing functionality. So here I've simply come into marketing list. To create a new marketing list, it's simply a matter of navigating up to the command bar and clicking the new button. What this will do is it'll open the marketing list form and you'll give it a name. So if you can remember back to the context of this demo, this is an IT company and we sell Dynamics products. So I'm going to create a marketing list based on our accounts for a sales and marketing webinar. So the first thing that I will do is type in the name of the marketing list. So I'll simply call it Sales and Marketing Webinar for Dynamics 365. Now, notice here there are two types of lists that you can create. The first one is static, and that after the list is created, the members are not updated. So a scenario where this may be useful is that perhaps you've been to a trade show or an event and you have a list of people that have been to that event. This is where you'll create a static marketing list. A dynamic marketing list, on the other hand, is where the marketing list members are updated whenever the list is used. So perhaps you're creating a marketing list with people from a certain region. That's a scenario where you would use a dynamic list. So in our example, I'll just keep the list type as static. The targeted ad is who is going to be the members of your marketing list. Where are you going to get that marketing list from? So is it going to be accounts, contacts, and leads? So it's important to understand that it can't be for the one marketing list a combination of all three or two. You have to select one. So in our example, for our sales and marketing webinar for Dynamics 365, I'm going to target accounts. So that will bring me back all the account information whenever I'm actually building my list. Whenever you've built your list, then be sure not to lock the marketing list until you've added all your members. So once you have all your members added into your list, then you can change the lock to yes, where the list is locked down and nobody can actually touch that list. So the second part of this is where I'll actually save the marketing list. So I've created my container here. I've given it a name. It's a static marketing list. We know who we're going to target. And notice the form changes here where you can see campaigns and quick campaigns. So what this means is when this marketing list is used in a campaign, it will automatically populate the campaign name here on the left, the right-hand side. And if it was used in a quick campaign, it would do exactly the same. It would populate the quick campaign that it's been used in here. So you could effectively use this marketing list over and over again. And as you do that, then it will populate automatically the campaigns that it's been used within. Okay, so to add members to the list, it's simply a matter of navigating up to the top here and selecting the Manage Members. Now, there's a number of different options that you have when you're adding members to your list. Firstly, you can add using a lookup, add using Advanced Find. You can even remove using Advanced Find, and you can evaluate using Advanced Find. So there's a lot of rich functionality in there. I'm just going to show you one or two of these just for the interests of time. So we'll pick on the add using lookup. So this is where you add members randomly. So it displays the lookup records dialog box for the base entity of the marketing list. So in our scenario, it is accounts. So I could actually say, give me all the accounts that start with A, and then I can simply randomly add these accounts in here. And what it'll do is it'll add them in to the list. So to see how they've been added into the list, you simply navigate to the members, and you can see as I go through each of these options, the list will grow. The second and final option that I'll show you is add using Advanced Find. So using the Advanced Find enables you to add complex criteria to ensure that you only find the specific members to whom you want to market to. After you have prepared your query, select the Find button to view the members that match your query logic. You have the option to select individual members from the list, or simply to add all the members returned by the search to the marketing list to make the appropriate selection from the radio buttons on the lower left side and selecting Add to Marketing List. So what this means in reality is this is my query that I'm building now. So if I use a query within the account entity to say the account city equals Dublin, and I click the Find, what this will do is it'll go and look in all the accounts, and it'll bring me back all the accounts that have city equal to Dublin. And from here, the radio buttons is where I can select to add a couple of them, or I can select the other radio button, which is add all the members returned by the search to the marketing list. So to add them all in, you simply click Add to Marketing List, and you can see now within the Members tab of my marketing list, it's now growing a lot larger.
And Kat, I'll just cut in there. I mean, obviously advanced find example you did there was very simplistic, but you can build a very complex query for that if you
Yes.
want to. Like if you wanted to build a query like show me all the active customers in Cork
Yeah.
in engineering sector with employees surplus 200,
Yeah.
that's the sort of query you can easily build there, isn't that correct?
Absolutely. The advanced functionality, the advanced find functionality has very rich functionality within it, Cian, so you can build very complex queries within it. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to show all that, but yes, you're absolutely right. You can do that within the advanced find.
Great.
The other functionality that I'm not going to demo, but you should be aware of within marketing lists is the advanced find to remove members. It is similar to using advanced find to add members, but you can use advanced find to remove members. This method enables you to add complex query logic via advanced find and remove any members that you match your entered criteria. And finally, the last one is using advanced find to evaluate members. So also similar to using advanced find to add members, using advanced find to evaluate members enables you to use the existing membership list to evaluate with any additional logic, whether to keep the existing members after you've applied the new logic. So after you have your marketing list and you're happy with it, I'll just go back to what I touched on right at the beginning. This is the point where you have all your members and you're happy. You can then switch the lock to yes, and this means you can lock it to prevent any further modifications. So other marketing list features to be aware of. So after you've created your marketing list, you can perform several functions with them. You can see members in your member pane. You can use them interchangeably on multiple campaigns or quick campaigns, and you can see where and which campaigns or quick campaigns that they have been used in. It is important to note that members of the marketing list cannot be added more than once to the list, so they're not going to be bombarded. So that brings me to the end of the marketing list functionality. So from there, we're going to build on this demo and we're going to create a campaign. So our campaign is going to be an email campaign and also a telephone campaign. And for our fictional company, it's going to be to promote a Microsoft Dynamics 365 sales and marketing webinar. We are also going to use the list that we've just created a couple of minutes ago, our marketing list. So when you're working with campaigns, you have two options. Firstly, you can create a new campaign or you can use a campaign template. So why would you use a campaign template? You would use it if you anticipate needing to use the same campaign and its related tasks over and over again. So rather going through the same tasks of setting up your campaign, you can actually just have a campaign template if you're using the same campaign a couple of times a year rather than having to create everything new. So for our demo, I'm not going to use a template. I'm just going to create a new campaign record. So it's simply a matter of clicking new on the command bar, and what that will do is it'll open the campaign form. So here in the name, you give it a descriptive name. So I'm just going to call mine Sales and Marketing Webinar Campaign. So the campaign code, which is located below that, you should note that if you leave this blank and you save the record, what it'll do is it'll automatically give you a campaign code, or you can enter one yourself. So watch what happens when I click the save record. The campaign code is automatically populated by Dynamics 365. But you should note that after you actually save the record, it becomes locked, so you can't do anything else to that campaign code. You can't change it. There are other information that you can populate here within your campaign to pad it out, such as your expected response, your schedule, such as what your proposed start, end date, and then when you actually start and end, and even your offer information. Within the Details tab, then you can fill out some financial information, such as the allocated budget, the miscellaneous costs. The total cost here, which is a locked field, is automatically calculated, but because we have no activities yet, it equals the miscellaneous cost. So if I were to enter 500 here in miscellaneous costs and click save, then the total cost then would mirror the miscellaneous costs. It's only when we add costs to the campaign by adding campaign activities, then the cost will automatically be reflected here. So you can also have against your campaign planning activities, and these are simply activities with the regarding field set to the campaign. So to add a planning activity, it's simply a matter of going to the related and clicking on the planning activity and then adding a new activity. So for example, maybe you need to prepare marketing material. To do that, you just simply fill out the task, prepare marketing material. You can give it a due date, and you can see here then the regarding is set to this particular campaign. So once you're happy with that, you can just simply click the save button, and that is now a planning activity that's associated with the campaign. So for this campaign, you'll only have one planning activity, but normally, however, a campaign should have several activities associated with that. So just to recap, we have created a campaign. We have given it a planning activity. The next thing is to add your marketing list. So here it's simply a matter of navigating over to the right-hand side and clicking marketing list, and you can add an existing marketing list. So here we can add in our sales and marketing webinar, and it tells you very nicely then how many actual accounts or contacts or leads are on that list. So this example here, we're using accounts, and we know that there's 17 now that are in that marketing list. So we've created our campaign, we've created our marketing list, we've associated our marketing list, and we have a planning activity. The next and final thing that you will do is you will create campaigns activities, and these basically are activities of how you will distribute this campaign. So in our example, we will have an email campaign and a telephone campaign in order to promote this webinar. So to add your campaign activities, it's simply a matter of going to the ellipsis here, which says more commands, and adding a new campaign activity. So here it'll bring you up the form. So I'll just say email, sales and marketing webinar. And this is the most important, where you will choose your channel. So obviously this is going to be an email, so I will select an email, and there's other information that you can populate here. You should also note here that you have the anti-spam setting. So this effectively is to stop people being bombarded by campaigns. So you could say that you would like to exclude members who are contacted within 5 days, so they can't actually receive any more campaigns from yourselves within 5 days. So from here, we'll just click the save button, and then we'll click distribute campaign. So this is how you'll actually build your email, which will be distributed out to all those accounts. You can have a template. So if you were to check that box and you had a template set up within Dynamics, it would simply a matter of then going and choosing which template that you want to populate below. I'm going to show you two email types. So firstly, I'll show you how you can enter a free text email using the designer below, and then secondly, HTML. So here you can put in the priority of the email. So as I say, you can use a template, you can use a free form email. So I'll just type in here the subject. And you can use the designer here. So I'll just type in one word here to show you what you can do. So there's different functionality which is available in this new version of Dynamics. So you can make the font bold, you can increase the size of the font, you can insert pictures. So there's a lot of rich functionality, and you can actually even preview it as well in different applications, such as you can have a look what it looks like in a desktop, in a tablet, and even a mobile. So you can also use HTML. So if I click this here and look in the designer again, what you can see is I've copied and pasted from our LinkedIn, our webinar that we're promoting this morning. And then once you're happy with that, then you just simply click distribute. So what you can do is you can distribute the email messages, but before you distribute them, you choose who you want to assign them to. So you can assign them to yourself or another team. Okay, so we've now distributed out the sales and marketing webinar using HTML out to all those accounts. And here, what we can see, if there's any failure activities, it would come on here, such as there was any bounce backs. So you can keep a monitor on that to see what's happening with the emails. So the second way that you can promote your campaign is through telephone call. So here, underneath where you've just promoted your email, then you can select a new campaign activity. So you can actually have a telephone campaign to promote sales and marketing webinar. And of course, your channel this time would be telephone. So once you're happy with that, you just simply click the Save button and distribute your campaign. And then you can give it a subject. Okay, so from here you would distribute it. But what I will actually do is I will add these telephone activities to a queue. So if I have a look for the queues here, I've created a sales and marketing webinar queue. And if I click distribute, so what this means is if I go into my queue for sales and marketing here, and have a look for all items, then you can see it's automatically through distributing has created a number of phone call types activities. So if you had users assigned to this queue, what they could simply do is click on this phone call. They can make the telephone campaign, and when they're on the call to the contact, then they can actually promote it to a response. So what this will do is it'll put the response automatically against the campaign. So say, for example, we have someone assigned to this queue and they're phoning the browse type account, then they can simply promote this to a response. So what they can say here along the bottom is perhaps they're not interested after speaking to the account, they're interested in it, it's an error, or they didn't want to send marketing campaigns. But in this example here, we'll just say that they are interested, and we can save that. So what this means is if we go back into our campaign and we have a look at the responses, then this response will be automatically logged against this campaign. I just need to give it a second or two to refresh. You can also add in campaign responses automatically into this view as well. So I'll just go back into my campaign, click on the campaign, and go to the details. Okay, so here's our campaign response that we have created from that telephone call. It's also important to note that from the email point of view, if you're sending out the email or you're distributing the email that we used, the HTML email, if you get any contacts or accounts or leads that are interested and you've created a queue, the responses will automatically come back into that queue. So your campaign responses, as the name indicates, are responses to your organization that they receive in response to a campaign. And they're very useful in determining the effectiveness of the campaign, and they can indicate many things such as geographic trending, responsiveness to particular campaigns such as discounts and other incentives, and how well your target audience is receiving the campaigns. So the last part and final part of the demo is the quick campaign functionality. So the quick campaign functionality can be done from the account entity, the contact entity, the lead entity, and also via your advanced find. So I'm going to show you how to do that via your advanced find. So along the top here, the navy bar, you have the little funnel. That funnel is your advanced find, and when you click on that, it brings you up the advanced find form. So like Cian pointed out earlier in the demo, you can build very complex queries. So you can just basically choose which entity that you want to look at. So it could be accounts, it could be contacts, it could be leads. And from there, once you've selected your entity, then you can build your query. I'm going to keep this very simple for the demo, and I'm going to look for accounts, and I'm going to have a look for all the accounts that are based in Cork. So once I've built my query here, then it's simply a matter of clicking the results to see the results of the query. Once the query comes back, so our query is bringing me back all the accounts that are based in Cork. So here what I can do is I can select all of them and simply navigate up to quick campaigns. So here I can say for the selected records, for all records on current pages, or for all records in all pages. So I'll just select for the selected records. This will bring me up the campaign wizard. So the campaign wizard will basically guide you through the creation on how to create a quick campaign. So I will click the next button here and I will give it a name. So perhaps we're going to promote Dynamics 365 for accounts in Cork. Okay, I'm going to click the next button. Again, like what we've just seen within the campaign functionality, this is how you can say how you're going to distribute this campaign. So it could be via phone call or via email. So I'll just select phone call here, and I can add again the activities to the queue here. So I'll just pick any queue here, click next. So this is going to be the details of the quick campaign here. So this will be the telephone type campaign. So I'll just call it telephone call campaign for Cork. And you can fill in other details here. And then once you've reached the end of it, this gives you a little summary here. So it gives you the name of the quick campaign, the activity type, which is phone call, how many records, which is 8, and who's going to own those records. So once I click create, then it's going to create a quick campaign for me. So where can I view that within Dynamics? Along the left-hand side, you've got what's known as quick campaigns. Here you can see exactly the quick campaign that I've created, the total of members and the successes. So this is really where you'll pick up your campaign, you'll add in your responses, you'll be able to see who your selected members are, and you can fill out the information about who's responding to your quick campaign. If it was an email quick campaign, then the email responses will automatically come in here as long as you have it configured correctly within Dynamics 365. Or if it's telephone call, you can add them into a queue, and then you can have your users actually make the telephone call and then promote that to a response. So at this point, I'm going to hand back over to Cian, who is going to wrap up our demo.
Great. Catriona, thank you so much for that great demo. And to our audience, hopefully, well, you've seen the latest version now of Dynamics 365 with the Sales Hub. I think it looks great. You can see it's easy to use. It really is a sales and marketing automation solution. If you have any questions, please contact me and I'll be happy to help. We will be following up by email with all of our attendees to give you links to a recording of this webinar. And if you'd like to get a recording of the other webinar that I mentioned, the Sales Navigator integration webinar, please send a request to webinars@codec.ie. That's everything we planned to cover with you today. We'd love to talk to you further about Dynamics and help you to implement this solution in your business. So please get in touch if you want to discuss further. We're going to leave it there, and thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.